So in our program, we make it perfectly clear to the dog that we give all the instructions and we make all the decisions, and they'll get everything they want, need, and love in life: food, water, attention, freedom, everything, by simply waiting for the next instruction. Because a dog that thinks it's up to them usually gets really anxious because we don't follow their instructions very well, and then they don't know what's going on. Or they get persistent because I nudged you twice and you're not petting me. And we think it's annoying, and so it starts a vicious circle where the dog thinks it's up to them to get the instruction followed. We're getting annoyed, and now the dog is just in a constant state of anxiety. So we take the dog out of that anxiety by being super, super clear. If you're signaling me, you become invisible. We call that invisible dog. Let's just do that on jumping up. Okay, both of your dogs are super cute and they're little. So when you go to see your dog, it's going to be normal for your dog to jump up, and as a normal human, you're going to want to rub the dog's back, pick the dog up. Basically, you're going to look at the dog and give it attention. So the dog's going to learn from day one of the great ways to get your attention is to jump on you. Now the old school was to say something like down. Well, there's a couple problems with that. Number one, the word down, we usually have taught the dog means lie down, and now we're using it out of context, so that whole trying to learn English, they give up on us. Like, we're just too confusing. The whole knee in the chest and all of the stuff that used to be used for dogs jumping up, what we learned is anything that gives the dog attention is going to make the behavior persist, because dogs want our attention. They're social. Now they're anxious because it's not good attention, but the behavior persists. So we're not getting what we want. They're not getting good attention. We're not getting a dog that doesn't jump on us. So what we do now is that the dog jumps, spider. Sorry, spider alert. Okay, what we do is we turn the other way and we remove all attention, because even eye contact is attention. This might be worth $1 to your dog. If I look at you and I go, good dog, maybe it's $2. If I look at you and go, Bandit, good dog, now I'm up to $3. So we take away all payment, all attention, and we turn our back, kind of cold shoulder, right? And then then we look, and when the dog's 4 feet are on the ground, we whip around really quickly, we put our thumb in the collar, and then we go under the dog, and just go, good puppy, good puppy. The dog gets our pheromones, which is what it wants. It wants to smell our breath. We have our thumb in the collar because otherwise the dog will jump at our face and want to lick our face, right? And we go under the dog because it's much more rewarding for the dog and less threatening. What most people don't know is when we go to pet a dog on the top of their head, it's kind of like a power play, because that's how dogs become top dog in play. They go over the top. It's also what a predator does, lean over and go over the top of their head. So a lot of dogs get bitey, 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 bitey when you go to pet them on top of their head. So when you're getting to know your new dog, we say think under, not over. Do the side rubs, do the belly rubs, but don't go over the dog's head. We're going to teach them that in general handling. But that also makes dogs jump because, again, it gets nervous. So we're going to do the same thing for every single behavior. If the dog's whining, they're invisible. We don't look at them. We don't talk to them. If they're barking, they're invisible. There's an exception to that. And the exception is in the middle of the night, if your dog does a little whining because they're 9 weeks old or they're anxious and they have to go potty, it is okay, because that's what I would say, in their mind, a natural need that needs to be relieved. Like a robot, to open up the kennel, not talk to them, take them out to the potty area, be a super boring robot. When they go, just take them back and put them in the kennel and go to bed. No hot dog, no talking, no treats. The reward is they feel better. So that's the only exception. That typically does not form a bad habit because it was kind of a utilitarian visit, and they get it. It's that social attention that they get so addicted to and they get so crazy about. So what I recommend you do when you take your dogs home, this is really hard because we love them, is to run a tape in your brain the whole time. Who's telling who what to do right now? If your dog runs into the kitchen and sits and waits for a treat, who's telling who what to do right now? I go, oh, good dog. Watch down. Okay, let's see. I think I'll get you something. So you always want to trump any signal that they give you with one of your many simple instructions, So in every circumstance, they only remember getting what they want after following your instruction based on your decision, not on them thinking they have to make it happen. I'm gonna tell you one more story that kind of brings this home. There was an old lady in a Lhasa Apso, and she used to sit on the couch and watch TV with her dog. One day she decided to share her popcorn with the dog. And the dog would nudge her, and she would give her a piece of popcorn, and that was all very cute, right? Until the dog started nudging faster and faster. And so she kept up with that for a while, but then she started getting annoyed, right? Because we get annoyed when our dogs get persistent. But the dog thought, it's up to me to ask for the popcorn, and then she gives it to me. So one day she just said, forget it. She went to grab the bowl and pull it away, and the dog nailed her. Because in the dog's mind, she had already set the rules. This is how it works. It's black and white. And then she had the nerve to break the rule. So the dog had to, correct her. So that's why we have to be super clear with the dogs that we are making all the decisions and we are giving all the instructions. All right. So now we're going to turn to page 2.